I want to rock. Hoof. Hey, what's up? So, so this episode, this episode was like, it was like a callback and a reunion episode, and a teacher student crush episode all in one. It was very 80s, this episode. So what's up? I'm saying this is John, and we're the two dudes with beards who like to wax philosophical about Gen 4 ponies. So that Gen 5, that's a thing that's happening, I think. I don't know.
I've been kind of out of the loop with a lot of that stuff, but I will say, you were talking how this was kind of a student teacher crush, how it was sort of a reunion episode. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, this was a full on reunion like they used to do with a lot of the older shows. Like, remember when they did like 3 different reunions of the Brady Bunch?
Oh
And
my god.
and that movie where the father literally had like all of his business ideals right next to their house.
I think that'd be a question for my mom. She's the Brady Bunch expert.
Yep.
So
So
this episode starts off, and Rock Hoof is being Rock Hoof, and that's amazing. He needs to always be himself.
he's
But
amazing because he's Scottish. That's what makes it so great.
that and like he's just so he reminds me of me because he's very loud and he breaks stuff all the time, just like yours truly, because it's just one of those
So you're
days
Limp
you don't want
Bizkit.
to wake up. Everything is bleeped. Everybody sucks. But just
Best
Bob
bet is
ripped
to
someone's
stay
head
away,
off.
motherfucker. It's just one of
Yeah,
those
that's
days.
yeah, dude. If you don't listen to Limp Bizkit ironically or even unironically, bro, don't even talk to me because you're
Well, let me tell
lying.
you this. I did that one time at a bar out here. That song comes on, the entire bar starts singing along with me.
Oh yeah, they go pretty hard for Limp Bizkit out there in Kenosha.
Oh yeah.
They go pretty hard for that new metal in Wisconsin.
But anyway, back to Rockup. He's in his original like area where he stopped the lava. And that lady from the season 7 finale is talking about how that they're trying to do an archaeological dig out there, which is pretty cool. And he wants to start interacting with a lot of these objects that are trying to be preserved. And I'm just thinking, lady, you sound like Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. It belongs in a museum.
And like you gotta think that's gotta be pretty trippy for him, right? Because he's home and like that was home, but it's like it's become an archaeological dig site and also like a preserved land of historical importance. But he just
Mm.
kind of wants to pal around like the old days. I felt kind of bad for him. I mean, bro, can you imagine if they froze you in cryogenic sleep and then you woke up like 400 years from now and you tried to like I don't know and you tried to go to Cracker Barrel to get a chicken fried steak, and they're like, "No, dude, you can't eat at that Cracker Barrel because Cracker Barrel is a defunct military industrial complex that no longer exists, but we keep the building to preserve its historical integrity to the United States of America." And then you're like,
They already
"Wow,
did that. It's called Futurama.
oh,
But I will say, it also kind of reminds me of. Were you ever a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
yes."
Okay, so in the first season, when they go to the airbending temple, and Aang gets to see, his old home that is basically not destroyed but left in ruin. It kind of reminded me of that he wanted to pal around in there too, but there was also this sense of like, yeah, this isn't the same, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
So he goes to Twilight and is just like, Twilight, I'm gonna botch this accent, by the way. He's like, Twilight, I want to show people. No, God, I won't even try now. I want to show people, what I'm good at. I want
He's
to be
like,
able
"Hey,
to try
Twilight, I
something
want to
new.
show people that I could do stuff, Holmes." That's how we talked, right?
You do the accent because you're better at it.
No, I just gave him a Mexican accent, dude. I just made him sound like Cheech.
Hmm.
He'd
But
be
yeah,
like, "Oh, like
I
the Twilight.
I just
You
want
know,
to
I've
go
go
teach
to.
at the school
I
and
just
and
want to go
find
teach at the
and
school,
find
and
a lovely lass by the name of Olga and settle down and have a few kids.
I want to listen to nothing but the Montmartre and watch the movie Braveheart." So or Brave Hoof, it would probably be called. So Twilight's like, "Yeah, dude, no worries. We'll totally get you a spot here. It's cool. It's dope. It's dapper." So she's
It's
about
Kappa like Kappa.
he's giving a speech in the auditorium, and all the students are there. So it's another episode where I'm like, okay, are there only 5 students in this whole place, or are there actually like 50? Anyway, he's telling a story. Everyone's eating it up, especially Yana. And next thing you know, you ever have one of those days where it's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up, but you wake up
Okay,
anyway, and
okay,
then
we get it.
then you're gonna do a presentation at school, and then you bring your shovel, and then you break the stage because you just are just oozing so much pure what's the word,
Machismo?
machismo opulence, that you just crush the stage with your whole existence. Yeah, that was Rocco's day. He busted up the stage. It was looking like a municipal waste concert. It was sick. And Twilight's like,
Honestly, I'm
okay.
almost thinking, wait, was that the last open mic I went to? Like,
And then he's like, and then Twilight's like, okay, let's find something better for you to do. And then there's a bunch of montages, and then the conclusion of the episode happens. The end.
but I love how
Is
they
that
actually
not what
go around,
happens?
outside of Starswell, which he's kind of doing his own thing, which is nice.
Yeah, he's just
Because it makes
traveling.
his character a little bit more interesting. But I do like that they were going to a lot of the different places, like the the pillar that represented um uh why can't oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I forget the name of these pillars. The only one I remember is Sunambula, because that's because she had the
There's
sickest name ever.
let's see, there's the Spartan pony, that's Leonidas. There's the
Mm.
Egyptian pony. Then
Yeah,
there's
so
the
he gets his own guard,
yeah,
which is pretty cool. So, and I like how he says, once a soldier, always a soldier. I'm like, damn, if that ain't true or shit.
like
And
Semper
then,
Fi, boy.
yeah, and then the
John, did
one
I ever tell you about the
who
time I
had the
served in
garden,
Korea?
um, she was she was in the Crystal Empire growing a crystal garden.
Yeah, I can't
And
remember.
it's like,
I can't
oh,
remember
so
her
even
name.
you found some place to go, eh, lass? It's
Yeah,
like,
I can't
yeah,
remember her name. I can't
they're a
remember her.
little different than normal, but it's actually kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of cool.
Yeah,
You can
I could
grow
never.
crystal,
Yeah, I could never
sell
remember
it
her
for
name.
meth,
So,
give it to Walter White.
oh my god,
But
Better Call Saul. Yeah, I can never remember her name, so I just call her Maggie May because I think there's M's in her name. Then next, don't they go to
I'll just call her Betty White, honestly.
don't they go to the Egyptian pony, and she's like
Yeah, they go
teaching
to
yoga?
Sonambula, and
Yeah,
she's like a motivational speaker. And I was like,
Shia
nah,
LaBeouf.
she's more of a yoga instructor than anything else. And Raku falls asleep. I'm just like, now I'm reminded of that one video of the Grinch. It's like, just let out all of your issues. What? Like, Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just a little stressed.
And then there's that, and then finally they go to Bray Wyatt or whatever, the Louisiana Pony, and
Mage
she
Meadowbrook.
yeah, and then does if I remember right, isn't she kind of just like back in the bayou just making medicine?
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Uh, so
It's like
and,
business has
and
been booming ever since I got back.
and the thing that sucks is for him is that it was cool. It was cool for the audience to see his buddies and stuff, see what they're doing. It's nice to check up on them, and it's nice to know the show hasn't forgotten them. But then it just makes Rocco feel worse because he's like, "Oi, I don't know. I don't have a place in the world. The only thing I have left is my Among Amarth CDs and the movie Braveheart." and
Honestly, why don't we go visit Scotty? Because if you look out for a Scotsman, laddie, you're looking at the only register that's not dead.
like, oh, I'm not a captain. I'm a Scot. Wait, no, that wasn't him that said that. Anyway, so they, so then the main six are talking, and they're like, "Damn it, we can't come up with anything." And Rainbow Dash is like, "Well, let's think about who is Rockhoof." And then Pinkie Pie's like, everybody's like, "Do with a shovel with a heart of gold" or something. And everyone's just like, "No, he's a hero." And then they get the bright idea to what do they do next?
I think it was to try and see if he could help save people.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He joins the hit. Doesn't he join the Hippogriff Navy?
Yes, he does. He joins General Sea Spray. And he's like, "Yeah, we gotta." Honestly, this was the one line in the episode that I'm just like, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it feels kind of forced because the boat gets hit. And by the way, General Sea Spray does a fantastic job of not being an asshole to Rockhoof. He's just like, "It was an honor serving with you, sir," sort of thing. I'm just like, that is a good amount of respect right there. And then they have because the reason the boat crashed was because Rockhoof was looking at the stars, and he said, "With a heavy fog, you always look at the stars for guidance." And then it gets hit, and then the line that really kind of made it seem forced was Twilight's basically like, the seismic shifts with the stars have shifted ever so slightly ever since, over 1,000-year period. So that's why he wasn't able to use it. I'm just like, yeah, but that still felt kind of forced. Kind of like back in season one during Owl's Well That Ends Well, where she's talking about stars are made up of a coma and stuff like that. Will you stop reading your Batman stuff and talk?
Joker turned to face Batman, revealing his profile to Gordon. Okay. No, so okay, so then this is my favorite part of the episode where Rockhoof wants to commit suicide and no, that's
yeah, he's like, "I want to turn into a statue."
Yeah, and Yana's like, and Yana, who we didn't really talk about much, but she's super thirsty for Rockhoof, right? And she's like, "Yana not let Pony blah 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 because Pony not finished story for Yana." And Rocco's like,
and they were supposed. He was asked. He basically said, "Write a report on someone you look up to," and Yana's was Rockhoof, and I'm just like, and I love that she just slams the report down on the ground and starts reading it. I'm just like, first of all, that's adorable in a yak sort of way, and second of all, that's really heartwarming.
Yeah, and then she's like, when Yana grow up, Yana want to be like Rockhoof. I'm like, oh, that's heck of cute. Sorry for the swearing in this Christian channel, but so and then it ends.
Who the fuck cares at this point?
And then it ends with Rockhoof finally being able to tell his story to everyone. went into and he's like, I am, for I am a Scot. And then years later, eventually Hoof would find his way into the WWE as wrestling sensation Drew McIntyre. And then that was the between a Hoof and a hard place. Overall, I thought this episode had me like super hard giggling at a couple points because Yana's adorable, right? Hoof's awesome, and the main six are just the main six. So it was really cool all around. So I liked. I gave this one a solid 8.
I give this one a 7 because it's kind of another one of those episodes where it's really solid, but that's really just it. It's a solid episode, but not really a ton of stuff outside of it being a well written episode. You know what I mean? Like it just got to that good writing, and then it stopped at that instead of comparing other episodes like let's say Amending Fences where it did the good storytelling, but it also had not just the great writing, but it also had the emotional side of it to where you actually feel for it. So it made better there. This one sort of didn't have that emotional connection outside of good structure. So I give this one a 7.
That's a fair comparison. I'd say. I just really, like I said, I just really like the gags, and it was cool to see all the old ponies again. So it won points for me based on just continuity and writing.
Mm-hmm. So what's next on the agenda for My Little Pony? Because I think I saw. I didn't watch it, but I saw a clip where Spike goes to visit Pee-wee.
Yeah, so Spike goes to say what's up to Pee-wee Herman, and then there's he comes across this dragon who claims to be someone of importance to Spike, and then that's all. I mean, that's spoiler wise, that's all I could say without spoiling anything for the plot. That's what I saw anyway. This should be interesting. We're really close to the finale. I think we talked about this already, but like it feels like the season's going fast and slow at the same time.
But I'll tell you this. Unless something catastrophic happens, I'm calling it right now. This season has rocked it. I have absolutely loved this season so far.
Oh no,
especially with the fact great. that they introduce the students, and you get to understand them, and they get more depth as the season goes on, instead of just gag characters at the season premiere. So there's been a lot of good development in this season.
Oh yeah, they've done really good with the young six, as apparently they're called. I've enjoyed every second that they've been on screen.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just be back here next week with that. Can't wait. Many lulls are ahead, boys. So that's it from me, Snakeskin.
And that's it from me, John.
And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace out on Dragon Ball Z.
Yep. Peace out, Dragon.
Dan, 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 dan.